Rich from Over the Fender Garage. Well, there she is. Look at that color. Whoo! That is wicked. Very, very cool color. Came out awesome. Very little dust, I'm surprised. Usually I get a little bit of dust and everything, but this came out pretty clean. So what I'm gonna do here is, I've got some cabinets I'm painting, so I'm kind of crammed in here right now. But we got the main part of this all done for the interior. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna hang my pedals up. I can get the steering column in. We can get the whole brake system in here. We'll run the rest of the brake lines. Run the return line for the fuel. I'll hang up my regulator. We can hang up the clutch master cylinder. So we can kind of take care of everything in here, the odds and ends in the engine bay. Get this stuff done. So that's what I'm going to go after. Since I can't get my engine painted to get it in here, we'll just get that kind of stuff in. I can stick my fuse box up and get my wiring harness started and get the engine wiring harness through its hole. So there's quite a few things that can get together here and get in here. So that's what we'll jump on. I think the first thing I'm going to do here is I will hang the brakes and the clutch pedal so I can get the hydro boost up and I can get the master cylinder on it and I can run all the brake lines. So I think that that's what I'm going to tackle first. It's basically the biggest job under here is running all the brake lines. So that's what we'll do. We'll set up, we'll do all the hard lines. I got, so I can get the front ones done. The back ones are going to be shorter than that. So I'll have to reorder a set that's a little shorter. So the other one's 16 inches and the other set's 22 inches. So that's way too long for putting on there. So got a little reorder on that, but I can run everything. Since you put discs on the back, instead of doing the soft line down to the rear end, running the hoses across the rear end, and then having another soft line here, I just take it right to the edge of the chassis, soft line right to the caliper. So you're getting rid of one line there. So that's what we'll get on. We'll get everything run. I can run them all the way to here. I'll get that part done. So we'll start knocking out the brake system, get as much of that done as I can, and we'll just hop around finishing up stuff, getting it ready. So when I get these cabinets out here, I can get it back in the booth, get the rest of it painted up. I just love that color. That is wicked. Ooh, candy, candy. I love candy. Nothing better looking than a candy apple paint job. All right, let's go. Let's get on her. When you get a spare master cylinder, I like these things that are nice units because the top screw on, you don't have leaks everywhere, but you got these little itty bitty things that got to go in. That's what these tools are real nice for too. You take that little thingy there and stick it in the hole, just like that. Nice and easy. Then you tighten the line down and that's what squishes down inside of these. I guess they're changeable, that's why they do that. So when you rebuild it, because some master cylinders, after you tighten them down once, they're no good. So I think they've made that so you can change them out, which is cool. They're really, really nice pieces. And they also have the deep hole. So you've got to have this little piece right here. It comes with it, a little bullet. Drop it in there, and that gets the short rod because the Hydro Boost has got a short rod. So got to make sure that that's in there. So let's hang this thing up. The kit also comes with the 2 fittings for the line. So I just put them in here anyway, just to hold those 2 pieces in there while you're messing around. So you make sure they don't fall out, because that would be bad to have them fall out. Get this on there, and we can start running the lines. Hopefully I don't have to move my proportioner valve. I can just adjust the lines. Make sure my thingy's in there, my bullet. All right. All right, now we'll leave it loose to be able to jiggle all this stuff around to get the lines on it. So now let's get that proportioner valve and get on that stuff. All right, let's see here. Which line was which? Be right there. All right, now you take the proportioner valve here. I think I had it on this side, remember. If I put it back on here, make sure that it's gonna fit back in the same location. I hope it does. I don't wanna have to go through moving all that. It's not gonna be that hard, it'd just be moving it down a little bit. But I already got holes there. So we'll find out here in a second. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see. Will we work? I hope so. Oh, that one will work. Okay, I gotta straighten it out, but let's get it on there first. All right, there's that one. Hopefully this one will go on too. All right, here, let's see. This one goes this way. And perfect, that'll work. I wonder if this one was supposed to go up front. No, I don't know. It'd be that one. Oh, they're both basically the same. This one here is a little shorter, so it's got to be the back one. I forgot to mark them when I took them off. Which one was which? You only got 2, so it's 50-50. One's going to fit. So there we go. Excellent. This out here where I can see it here. All right, just like that. Straighten it out a little bit. Good, just like that. Get that in there. All right, should straighten out when it's tight. And I still don't have this back bolt on the wheel well tight yet because I don't have the fenders and all that stuff aligned yet. They're close, but nothing spaced out or aligned. So I want to be able to get all that stuff done too. The front's not, all the outside's tight. The inside bolts are tight up to the fender. So the fender part is tight. It's the rest of it because you got to get everything lined up, all the bolts and everything. So it's kind of just floating there still. But we could get some of the stuff together, and that's basically what I'm after since I can't get in my booth right now. So we can get this main stuff in. None of this stuff will be in the way of anything, and it won't hurt when I go to align everything. Nothing's gonna bother anything. So all's good. But next thing we'll do is we'll get this fuel regulator in here. This sucker up here, and then we'll run some lines. Get the lines done. So, make good progress here. All right, just like that. Done. Where'd my little bit go? Did I take it out of there? Where did I set it? Oop. No, I must have took it out over there. All right, we get that in. Now we can run some lines. We'll get all these lines in, get this harness through here, get my grommet on there. All this kind of under the hood stuff. Put the steering shaft in so it steers. And just whatever like that. All right, I'm getting ready to install my column for the last time. And one thing you want to do with these columns, when you put an aftermarket one is take that screw and cinch it down on the column. It'll leave a mark and drill a hole for this to go into. And then on the shaft itself, you're supposed to put a little divot for this to lock into. And I also put red Loctite on them too, for extra measure. And then the inside of the bar, where the bar comes through, right there, I'll take and round that off really nice with my sander. So it can't hook one of these things, nothing gets caught on it. But it's basically supposed to be flat inside there, so it's pretty close. But round that stuff off and she's good to go. Be able to put it all together. It will not have to come back out again. All right, that one will be my divot right there. And this one I will drill it all the way through so I can stick it halfway in it. Just like that. Now that one's ready to go. And now I've got to do to the bar. See the little tiny mark. This is a stainless bar, so it's going to be really hard to put a drill bit into, but as long as you get one divot in it for it to lock into, it's good. Should be good, just like that. All right, there's that one. Put this back onto it. Don't mess them up. Oh, I got to round the bar. Oops. Da, 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 da. I know at the booter going, what the shit? This is a long video for. No. Come on, get on there. Boo. All right. Nicely rounded over. So there's nothing to catch on. Let's slide this one back together. I won't put any Loctite on it until it's all installed. And then when I go back and do all my checking of bolts, then I'll put Loctite and stuff on it. All right, now. All right, now we've got the steering shaft all installed. Column, still got to put the plate on there though, on the inside. I ran the fuel lines. I got the main fuel line in, which is 3/8, and then I've got the return line, which is 5/16. They're all run 5/16 to one single piece. So there's no rubber in the system except for where it is to break it apart and to the engine, which is steel braid. So that's all done with compression fittings. So there should never be a leak. And don't have to worry about rotting because it's all stainless steel. So that's all good. Got that knocked out. So let's see, I got my bulkhead for the heater on there too. Ran the computer wires out the hole. So I won't take that any further until I get the engine stuff back in here. But I still got to run the brake lines. That's what I'm going to do next here. We'll run out those brake lines, get the brake lines done. And on the fuel tank itself, this is one of my little pieces of rubber, steel braided line. And my 5/16, I brought it around like this. So if I ever have to get in here to the fuel pump, all I gotta do is push this out and it'll move right out of the way. So that's done. This is on here, so it's easy to change. And then we have the access hole in the bed. So that makes that easy to work on. The last thing I gotta do for that is put the vent on, which this is it's a rollover vent. So you roll over, it closes it off. We'll hang this about right in, probably about right here, and stick that in. You know, the bottom of the bed is probably there, so it'll be hung about right there. So it just about touches the bottom of the bed. Should be a good spot for it. That way it's all level in there. No place for gas to get trapped in it. So we got that to do. And the one gasket on the filler neck. And then we'll do the fuel gauge. And the fuel system will be done, except for the filler. So let's get these couple of things done. And we will have a 100% done fuel system. And then we'll get on finishing up the brake lines. Gas gauge. Last little thing to do back here. Go, go, go. Come on. Take this whole thing apart that they've got assembled here. Slide this apart like this. All right, now I'm gonna put that, you want this gauge right in the middle of the tank. Ooh. 9 3/4. All right, so I'm gonna put this at 4 7/8 approximately. They want you to take away, usually they want you to take away the thickness of the gasket, but I don't. I leave it there. I'd rather have more fuel in the bottom of the tank so you don't run out than to be perfectly right on. It can't be but maybe 2 gallons, maybe a gallon that would make up. So it's better to have more gas in the tank than empty. All right, that's good. So now I want to take this thing here and adjust it out. See if I got to have that on there or not. 4 7/8 is going to put that right at the bottom. Go over there so you guys don't fall in the hole. All right. Let's see. We'll take that off there. Slide this in here. Let's see what we can get. That would be way up here, like right about there. So take this piece here and cut it off. And get it down there like that. Take this off so I'm not dragging it around. Come on. There you go. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna cut it off right there. No reason to have all that extra hanging down. So I'm gonna go cut that real quick. All right, now I'm taking, slide this back together here. Oops, wrong way, this way. 4 7/8. Take a Sharpie and mark that. Now tighten that up. All right, there we go. That's that part. Ouch. These all out of here. All right, now take that little wire here and wrap it back around here. And then we'll get the, all right. Now, tighten back up. All right, there's the main part. 4 7/8. Right on. Now the next part is to do the float. Where's my float? And then bring the float. Ow, we get the float. This is the fun part here. Get the float stuck in here. I don't have a straight screwdriver either. Just getting the float to be right about the bottom of the tank. Just slide that in a hole. Approximately there. We'll go a tiny bit higher. It's probably good right there. All right, now mark this here. Cut the extra off. Leave myself about 1/4 of an inch extra. All right, now, right there should be 9 3/4. Right there. You can use the edge of a table or a workbench. Use that as a level if you can't eyeball it. It's got a short rod, so it's easy to eyeball that. All right, now one more quick check. Puts me right at 9 3/4. So there should be, when it hits empty, there should be about 3/4 of an inch to an inch of fuel in it, which should give you probably about 4 gallons maybe. So that's all done. It's as easy as they are right there. Now, gasket on it. Some of these are offset like a flywheel, so you can only put it in a certain way. Let's see if this is one of those. Right there, there you are. Right there, come here. Somebody put all these lines in the way. Make it harder to do this. All right, now we're on the brake system. There's my T-block right there. This is what I use when I convert something to disc brakes. And I will mount this somewhere on the frame, like right in this area. That way I got the one that'll come out and go right here. I can go through here and get to the outside one on this side, and then this one here, I'll run up. I'll run across this bar that I made out to the other side. But I'm not gonna put it on yet. This is my target area is right there. So I won't do anything with that one yet. I'll make this line before I mount that up. Because if I mount this up right now, then I gotta get it exactly right. If I run the line and get it all ready and then mount this, the hole will tell me where to mount it. But that's my target area right there, in that range. So let's make up this long line here, get that one started, and then we'll branch off to all the wheels. I went and I cut myself a line. I measured out about 105 inches. So I cut this at 112. So I got a little bit extra. You don't want to be short, that would be bad. So a little extra won't hurt. And I'm gonna put my end on, even though I don't have any bends in it yet, I'm gonna put my end on anyway, I always do. Because what happens is, you'll take the piece, you'll go, oh, I'll put the end on, let me figure out where the bend is. Do the bend and go put the end on. Well, then you forget, because the end will be bent too tight, and you won't be able to get this on there. With this on there, I don't have to worry about it because I'll bend it with it on there. So that will be on there. Just a little thing I've learned. A little piece of tape to hold it here where you're gonna work. Like that. So now I cannot forget when I put it up there. So I'm gonna flare this one out now. Come on, line, get up on there. All right, it doesn't want to agree. All right, first thing I want to do here, get this in here. This is all stainless line. I use it on everything I build. I put stainless lines on it. That way the lines will last as long as the car will. No worries about rotting out lines. But you gotta have one of these good benders to do this. This isn't that much more expensive, but you never have to worry about it. It is harder to flare though. So you gotta have a good flarer. So first, you put it in there. First thing you do is put it in it and have a little bit sticking out and just snug it and then push this so it's flat up against it and then tighten this. And it's got to be tight because it'll push it out if it doesn't, if you don't get it tight enough. Break it down. And then you go to, oh, where is it? 3/16 right here. Give it up. Of course, the vise has got to be tight too. Otherwise, it's going to move. Let me turn it sideways a little bit. Oh, let's see. Good crank down on that vise. All right, now grab a hold of it. First thing you want to do is the bubble. And yeah, so it is very hard. It takes a few practice times when you're doing this to get it to go right. And then turn it to the 5/16. Oop. 3/16. This will put your flare in it. And you will split them a few times. I still split them every now and then. If you don't get them tight enough, they'll split. But there is a perfect bubble flare. Beautiful. So, on it. Go take and stick this one up and start working this one in there. All right, first one I'm going for is this one right here on the back side. And what I need to know is how far away. I'm 3 inches away from the firewall. It'd be nice if it landed at about 2.5. It'd be real nice. And then one at 7. So, there, and then bend. Bend over a little bit. That one, so this one should go right in there. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. The rear line is the hardest because it's so long. Easier to do when you don't have to have a cab on, but I can't do it without the cab on it. And being it's a truck, you're gonna have cab flex. You do want to have some extra in your line so that it can move separate from the cab. I'll add extra right here. So I'll come out and then go back in some. All right, that should be good right there. It should be far enough away from the exhaust system. Comes to about somewhere like here, so that'll be far enough away from that. It's got anchor points on both, and then it's got enough area for flexing. So that's about where we want it. So now let's go down the line here. Now we gotta get it to go back behind. I use these little clips right here to hold these lines on. They're stainless steel clips for the stainless steel lines. They work really nice. I just use self-tapper screws here. Come on, get over there. There you go. Just like that. Nice and secure. All right, now I'm gonna put one up on the floor to hold the floor. Hold it up against that floor spot too. And then we can work our way to the back and do the back one. Get it marked out. Get it right where we can get the drill in, wherever it's gonna fit. But I think get an extension. Oh, got it. All right, like that. Now, see that piece right there will take care of any flexing. All right, now, work our way to the back. And then I'll put another clip like right about there. Now I'll put one in the middle of it. Just like that. Looky how nice. Now, go up top here and do that one. Go up top and we can measure this. So I've got about 8-10 inches longer. So that's good. So, now I want my fitting to end up right about there. I think would be a good spot. So mark that right there. And we'll go cut and put the fitting on. All right, there is my tee. Now, before I mount this up, I want to make this lower line, which is going to come to this left wheel over here, because then when I get that one made, then I can mount this up and I'll have that line right where I want it. So it gives me more room on top to make this line. Let's go ahead and make this line here and get a measurement for length, which is going to be bend it that way, bend it that way. Over the top, 2 inches over the top. So I'll make it, I'll go 20 inches to start. So I'll go put the end on, get that first 90 in there, and we'll start working it in there. All right, there is my first and my second bend right there. Stick this up here in the tee. And I'm gonna flatten this out a little bit, like that. There we go. Get this snugged up here like that. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be really tight between the two of them. So that's why I did that, because like it's gonna be right in the center, but they're really, really tight. So I might have to twist it a little bit, but we got enough room here, enough line, so that's not a problem. Okay. I'm gonna make me a bend run right there, just to make sure I can get it in there before I go and mount that. All right, now I got my other one with top bend in it, so I can put them both together here, like that. Now, slide that in there, look at that. Ooh. So, oh, get it out of there. Got them out right there. Just like that, just makes it. So that's perfect. Boom. Well, that should be quarter. All right, now, all right, great. So, let's go ahead and finish making up all these lines. Do some time lapse. All right, there we go. All mounted up, my T. The blinds are all on there, all tight. It's my little nipple. I could put a thing right here too if I want to, on the bottom of these. But I got one here in the middle of this one. I'll probably put one at this one either way because it's long, be vibrating, but we get some more clips on there. I got more. But for the most part, the back side is done. All ends up looking really good. So, that is done. On to the front side. All right, we've got the brake lines all done. All the hard lines are finished up. You see down there, I've got, instead of doing loops up here in that area, I kind of did a long sweeping bend down there so it's hidden, and that'll flex with the cab to chassis. So that's taken care of, and they're all mounted up. Got little stainless steel hooks on all the hard lines. And the front passenger side one goes that way, right there, on the front of the frame. I mean the back side of the frame. And they're all plumbed in real nice here. Oh, I got all the wires here. Out the way, out the way. All right. They're all plumbed in real nice. Got the new lines on it. Ends right there. So when I tighten these up, I'll put a little loop-dee like that and kind of face it up. So it's kind of like right there, like that. So that's done. We got the driver's side one on too. So those are all finished up, all real nice, perfect length. Brake system on the front, brake system almost done on the back. How nice and clean that looks. All nice here. came out looking great. So the only thing I got left to do on that is the back lines, which I'll have to order those. No big deal. So next thing, I've got the steering column all done. I put my little plate on here. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my floor here. I'm going to seam seal everything I got welded, even though I got it pretty much welded all the way up. I'm going to seam seal it anyway, all the joints, any place there was factory seam sealer. I'll go and seam seal all that. And I don't use seam sealer anymore. After doing that car and finding out the stuff that they sell in a tube is really not good. Because that one was about it was done for about 5 years before I took it apart to start redoing it. And all the seam sealer I bought has fallen out already. So what I use now is this stuff right here. There's two different types. There's one made by this company. There's one made by DAP. And they're both crystal clear. You can see through it. This stuff stretches like nobody's business. And it sticks to almost anything. It never cures. It never gets hard. It'll skin over. You can paint it. It's flexible. And you'll never have a rattle with this stuff on there. So I started using this stuff and it works great. It's not cheap. I'm not buying it because it's cheap, because it's about 10, 12 bucks a tube. So basically right in line with seam sealer. So I'm going to run around. I'm going to seam seal all this so I can get on to putting down my boom mat. Make her nice and quiet. And that, for the most part, will be that. I'll get probably get the wiring harness started and then get back to doing some painting if I can. So I got my engine in the booth. I got the cabinets are out. I'm sitting there. But I got the engine sitting over there in the booth now, so I should be able to paint the engine here pretty quick and stick the engine in. Trying to get everything done before I do the last part of the paint job. So we'll get on to gluing up this floor with the sticky stuff. Don't use your fingers, use gloves. That stuff is nasty. It's an oil-based product, so it's nasty when it gets on you. But it works great. All right, I'm gonna get on gluing up this floor.